Ambassador Huckabee, thank you for granting us this interview.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to get to be with you.
We are just a few days ahead of Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump's third visit and third meeting within 6 months. And I wonder, should we expect an announcement regarding release of hostages and a ceasefire agreement?
Well, we all hope that's on the agenda. We hope it's going to happen.
We hope it's going to happen, and we're looking forward to happen sometime next week.
It's certainly something that the Americans want to see happen, something President Trump wants, something Prime Minister Netanyahu and the people of Israel want. The question is, do the people who run Hamas, do they want it? Do they want this to end? I hope they do, because they're the only ones holding up something from bringing all the hostages home, every last one of them. So
I just wonder, you said all of the hostages, but it appears that the U.S. is now trying to pursue the agreement of only releasing some of the hostages, of a short-term ceasefire agreement. And I wonder why not trying to have a comprehensive agreement that will bring all of the hostages back home.
I don't think anybody knows yet what the details of any particular arrangement would be just yet. So let's be patient. Next week should give us some answers to that, but I can't answer as to exactly what is on the table. Simply not capable of disclosing that today. But I would say stay tuned and watch what happens in Washington next week.
What should we expect? Is it going to be a roadmap of a new Middle East Abraham Accords, peace with Syria? What should we expect?
I think the president's original Abraham Accords were so historic, and it set the framework for what is about to happen in the coming months and years.
Has any other country suggested to you recently, as a result of this, that they want to join the Abraham Accords?
Yes. So we have some really great countries in there right now, and I think we're going to start loading them up because Iran was the primary problem.
Be prepared to see some surprising things happen in the Middle East with a very significant realignment. I think it's because something has happened with President Trump back in office. People now see that here is a person who means what he says what he means. If he makes a promise, he keeps it. Keep your eyes open to the future, because I think you're going to see a number of states that once were maybe states with hostility with Israel, but there's going to be normalization. There's going to be trade agreements. There's going to be security and peace agreements. And it's going to be a different Middle East. And President Trump will get the credit for that, because he envisioned looking at things differently and doing things differently.
Regarding Iran, is the U.S. administration expected to give Israel green light to attack Iran independently whenever it chooses?
The one thing that President Trump has said over and over again is that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. There's never been any ambiguity about his commitment to that. And it wasn't just words. He followed that up with the actions of sending those B-2 bombers in directly to those nuclear sites in Iran.
But what will be next? Will you support having Israel attacking Iran when things will make Israel wants to do so?
Once again, I think the immediate concern is making sure Iran got the message. What happens next will be as much up to Iran as it will anyone else. But I hope they understand, as did the rest of the world, that if President Trump makes a promise, he's going to keep it. It sent a message that America stands by its friends, but it will not put up with enemies who continue to threaten the peace of the world.
But is the same president that, after one tweet, one truth post, made Israel cancel a strike with dozens of aircrafts in Iran?
Yeah, I think it was a simple matter of just communicating that the operation had been successful, as it had, and the president spoke very clearly. What he was hoping to see is an end to the hostilities. I don't know of a single person living in Israel, including me, who is not happy to be able to go to bed at night and not be awakened by a siren and having to go to the shelter at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was a refreshing alternative and change of pace from the previous 2 weeks.
I want to get back to you to one of your tweets on the night before the Israeli attack with Iran, when you mentioned that you're not going to sleep this night. And I wonder, in a retro perspective, wasn't it might be an early announcement of the Israeli plans towards Iran?
Maybe it was something that caught a lot of people off guard. Most importantly, it caught Iran off guard. That was the genius of the attack. The Israelis staged what was, again, a level of military conquest with a level of precision that I think will be studied in war colleges all over the world for generations to come. I mean, it was flawless. It was absolutely something to behold. And I have to give congratulations to everyone in the Israeli military, to their intelligence community, and to Prime Minister Netanyahu and the cabinet for making a very difficult decision, but one that turned out to be the right one.
Do you see a daylight between Israel intelligence and U.S. intelligence regarding the effect of those attacks?
There was a great level of intelligence sharing that went into this whole operation, and that's one of the reasons that I say to people all the time, America's got friends, we have allies, but we've really only got one partner, that's Israel. And one of the ways in which I can tell you that's true is in the level of cooperation and sharing the intelligence that Israel has and that the United States has.
I want to move to another subject. Why is President Trump interfering into Prime Minister Netanyahu's trial? Do you not consider the legal system in Israel as reliable?
I think it was simply a matter of President Trump, who has been the object of an extraordinary amount of lawfare in the United States, because he recognized his enemies couldn't defeat him at the ballot box, so they tried to defeat him at the courthouse. So he was simply identifying with what the Prime Minister has been through. I don't think there was anything more to read into it. He wasn't calling for a particular conclusion in Israel, but he was identifying with someone he considers to be a friend and recognizing that when these sort of things happen in the middle of a person's term and they're trying to deal with life and death issues, like a war, that there are distractions that make it very difficult to carry out the job.
But this is the big plan, ending the war in Gaza, expanding Abraham Accords, and ending Netanyahu's trial?
I don't think there was an ulterior motive. The president is simply doing what he does best, and that's speaking out. Certainly you've kept up with President Trump well enough to know that he is not a person who is afraid to express what he thinks. He says what he means what he says. What you see is what you get.
So does it mean that we will see the end of the war in Gaza next week?
We hope so. You know, I mean, that's the prayer we all pray, is that the war in Gaza is over. But when it's over, Hamas isn't there anymore, and all the hostages are back home with their families. I've said many times, this ribbon that I wear on my lapel every single day, my number one goal as ambassador, I want to take this off. I want to get this off of my jacket, and I don't ever want to wear it again. I want to throw it away. But I can't do that until every hostage is returned. So the day I get to do that is the day we all celebrate. All hostages are home.
Ambassador Huckabee, thank you for this interview.
Thank you. Pleasure to be with you.